Welcome to the hood, brother Finbay.
What's up, everybody? Can you hear me all right? Hey.
Yeah.
How's life?
All right. It's all right. I gotta take off my alarm. It's going off in 16 minutes. Oh, you gotta be on stream.
Sorry.
No, my alarm is an hour late. It happened the last time as well. It started to it went off when we were about to finish the stream.
So I'll put on a different background. Oh, look at this.
That's nice.
I've been waiting.
That's from the fight.
Yeah, so it's the same design, I think, or a similar design, and then sold by Kinetics and Discourse in order to raise money for the paperwork. But I've been asking Mayo, right? Mayo.
Mayo.
Yeah, I'd been asking him like for a few months or like half a year maybe. I don't think he ever responded. And so I was like, I want one of those shirts whenever it was that I was trying to buy like HEX things. Even before this party. What's up, Facing?
Yeah.
What up? So finally they went on sale for another print, and these were quite expensive, but the material it's like double thick. It's quite a classy shirt.
Nice. What's the jingling I hear? Do you have beer or something over there?
Right next to
that's
my
ringing.
cord.
Oh,
like that.
Yeah, or maybe your ring. How's it going, Facing?
I'm doing great. How about you?
The microphone's way down here. That's
Been
why.
pretty busy.
Yeah.
We got this one holiday coming along. I have a clue for you guys if you can guess what it is.
Hit me.
It's Christmas.
Welcome to the Hood, Brother
See,
Finbear. Welcome to the Hood, Brother Finbear.
That's so awesome. So that's my ringtone.
Really?
When I get a message.
Welcome to the hood.
Yeah. I should also get one. I've got one where Sammy says something like "ha ha," very fucking funny, or something like that. That would be another good one.
Well, I've been in the chats about designing stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if Gold Key marked it on his calendar or not to join us, but me being late, sorry about that. If it was that he came in, I also did a live stream last night really late as well. So I just haven't been sucked into the computer like I typically am.
Yeah.
Facing, you've been in Twitter Spaces quite a bit, right?
Yeah. Well, not really Twitter Spaces lately. I've been having a break because it's the same old, and a lot of noise, and so we retreated to more small groups, morely on Telegram or different other things. But yeah, I'm in there every now and then. Not as much as I used to do, but
We got a shout out from SJ. One of her quotes, she shouted us out and directed people towards us. And so I think that's why we have like 7 people overnight.
here we
Nice.
go.
Pre-viral still. I think next spring might already look a bit more different. Like people might be more interested in growing their own food.
Yeah.
After this winter.
They're gonna need
But
to.
hopefully out of their sort of own free will and not out of necessity. Hey, good feedback, good reactions from people regarding the Celsius campaign. I noticed you already pissed somebody off enough and to start tweeting about it with pictures and everything.
I was sitting there updating my tweets often. Like, why aren't more people annoyed by this? So I can't wait to get more eyes on Celsius's old owner. So for everybody who doesn't know, the HEX postcards group, t.me/HEX postcards, sent out a postcard, and on one side it has Mashinsky's face, like monochromatic, and it says "Trust no one." And then on the back, it's got kind of like a pie chart layout, dividing up the differences, like how it is that HEX works and how it is that Celsius worked.
Or didn't.
On the same principles or areas.
Who created that card?
Philip Banks, I think, did it alone.
Really?
With a little bit of feedback from the group, but he basically had a really big initiative in designing that. And Togo, Togo, he's like the creator of Hex Streamers and Hex Daily Stats. And so he figured out that we could get the names and addresses of these people in law documents because of the Celsius implosion.
Nice.
Super cool.
Yeah, so cool.
How it literally divided up the pie in how to do it correctly and how not to do it. Perfect.
Yeah.
Really good setup.
And what I love is that it's already people in crypto.
Yeah, but they're broke people in crypto now,
Right.
so they're gonna bring in like fresh money.
But I love it that we're going to people who are already in the sphere, and then we tell them like, "Oh, well, you just did this wrong."
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, of course, you guys stole my money."
Yeah, but it's so difficult. It's so difficult for those guys to change their minds. It's it's always the hardest to convince somebody that they've been fooled.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, that's like
Easier to
the,
fool
the most.
somebody than convince them they're being fooled. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the
Even
story of
with the
suburbs.
even if you have like evidence,
Yeah.
it's hard even then.
Hmm.
Oh man, it's the today's the winter solstice. I went outside to like just push some snow around. When I came back in, it was already dark.
Yeah, it's going quickly now.
So you
Yeah,
literally like go outside, and then just
yeah,
an hour later.
yeah, something like yeah.
Wow.
Took like an hour. So it doesn't like yeah, sun is
So
a
yeah, the
rare thing now.
21st, the 22nd of December, the solstice.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
So it's we're starting to move towards spring. I think it's like
Wait.
exactly now we're we're at like the precise moment of solstice. It's this 15 minutes. Like the darkest it's gonna
Darker.
be is now.
Yeah.
And it's just gonna get better. We can agree that the bear market is gonna be over and it's all just gonna be better from now on.
About damn time.
But I do want to tell people, when it is that you experience euphoria, like I did with Hex token, when it's up there and you don't know when the peak is, sell 20% in order to keep 10%. Okay.
Yeah.
So you sell 20% up here, and down here you reinvest the 10%, and then that other 10% you keep it for your profit.
Yeah.
To be a
Yeah.
happy hexagon, do that, please.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's gonna be
drinking the Pulse Chain Kool-Aid at that time. So
That's
yeah.
that's what it's going to be. It's
Yeah.
going to be
Yeah.
Pulse Chain Kool-Aid, and everybody's going to think that, oh, it's going to go up forever, and that we're never going to have a bear market again.
Yep.
And we have to
Yeah.
go through these cycles, these these turnovers, and no matter how big and infinite you think the clientele of the world is going to come running to Pulse Chain, still recognize how markets work. You are just you, as in me and everybody else holders. You are just another piece, just another shell in the ocean. Don't think that you're gonna dream it up and it's gonna happen.
If only.
I mean, I
Yeah.
remember the exact day that I was like, if I don't sell now, I'm going to experience a little bit, like later on, I'm going to think about this day. I was in the shower, and it was my shower moment for the day. And I remember like the exact numbers and everything. So I'm learning.
Yeah. Well done.
I don't come from finance, like a lot of other people. Like
Yeah.
you
And
even had finance in your background, right, Finbear? I mean,
yeah.
I would say that finance is like the insurance.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I did for 11 years.
Damn.
Like a lot of saving instruments and stuff and life insurances and all that crap. Yeah, it's hard to take a profit when everything is going up like 20% a day and
That's
your phone is full of screen captures of your Staker app.
Yeah, we're all guilty of it. So true.
Next
And
time,
then all the
next
people
time,
that you had brought in, then you want to give them good advice instead of going and wrapping down your security and doing what you need to do. You want to tell them that, you know, like, hey, this is how this is how that is. Like, sort out their worries, and then you
Yeah.
need to like completely drop a veil, change your mind frame, and look at your own stuff and be like, okay, what do I need to do? So I mean, I don't know about you guys, but it's hard to make important decisions. You have to,
Yeah.
clear the air a little bit.
Yeah, and like the next time, what if it coincides with like the absolute crash of fiat money in the same time? So you're like making a huge profit, like a killing on paper, but as soon as you bring that profit into the quote unquote real world, you're gonna start to take a huge killing with like inflation or something.
Can you imagine like eggs still costing the same amount in hex, but yet fiat?
Yeah, yeah,
My
that'd be wild.
goodness.
Yeah,
But that is probably what we're gonna get. I mean, at
yeah.
that
Hopefully,
point,
I'm hoping that Staker app or any of the wallet applications that they're working on would incorporate some kind of a point and pay type of a thing on
Yeah.
your phone, so that you could just, blip, because that way it would be easier to get like merchants, just any shopkeepers on their own, to dip their toe into crypto if they just open a wallet and immediately you could start sending stuff within like 10 seconds or something.
Yeah, would we be transacting in Pulse Chain?
Yeah,
I guess so. All
it wouldn't.
your
Yeah,
hex would be
I wouldn't
snake.
want to. Yeah, I wouldn't want to pay with Hex.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to pay with hex either. Just
So I'd
the
much rather.
potential there.
Yeah,
does
yeah.
it really matter?
It
Because
does a
you know
bit. It does a
if,
bit because
if it's
yeah,
only
but if you
psychological, it's only because you know that
it's
it's gonna
it's
be a
only
different
psychological,
future.
but it's also factual in the sense that Hex is the only thing that has the yield mechanism coded
Yeah,
into it the way
of course.
it
But
does. Like Pulse
if you
and
want to
Pulse
buy
X don't.
something, depending on what the other party accepts, you're gonna either give him that what he
Yeah,
wants,
yeah.
or
You're gonna give him
transfer your
euros
hex
or
into that
whatever.
what he wants. So
Yeah,
why not directly hex? It's pretty much the same.
I don't know.
Because
Well,
I
it
still
means
wouldn't
that
want to.
I agree with you, but if a merchant set up something, don't you think it would be Pulse Chain?
oh yeah, sure. But it could be any peer-to-peer payment.
It
I'm
could
still
be.
holding
Yeah.
out for Pulse Chain changing its name.
Really?
Are you
Yeah,
really?
yeah. There is just that slightest bit that I think that Pulse Chain could still change its name, because
Do you think Richard has a better name in store? Like
I believe
I
that
remember
Richard
he said.
always has a better way of doing things, and that he'll just surprise us with it. And so I'm still not sold that Pulse Chain's the final name.
He did say
Yeah.
the same thing about the Pulse X logo, because in the beginning everybody hated it, and then he said it wasn't final, and never a word again.
Yeah, a lot of people still are annoyed with the way that the X's end.
Winding down, yeah.
It's just
Yeah,
like
yeah, and
it's pretty good.
they're like not symmetrical. It looks a
Yeah.
bit wonky.
Yeah.
So the HSIs, they are done. If you guys want to
Cool.
trade them around, I don't advise it, but just let me know so that I can update the chart on whose handle and whose wallet holds these things. But they're inside the chat. There is an image of the table that I've made inside of Google Sheets. So instead of releasing that stuff in the Google Sheets, I don't know. Maybe I'll make it to where it's not editable, but yet you can highlight stuff and copy it and paste it into Etherscan and things like that. But yeah, a lot of you ended up with two. So please check your wallets, check the dates on the chart so that you'll mark your calendar or something like that. And again, the idea is that you come back to this group, however it exists at the time, and tell them that you have a stake coming up and what is the group idea that can, be funded. And sometimes we recognize, with the ups and downs of the market, sometimes we'll have more funds to use and than others, and we'll just have to work with that.
Yeah,
But it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
One example I had that sort of just came to mind maybe like a week ago is I've been following this German fella who works in IT, and he's bought a farm in Spain, and he grows pigs there, and he's got cows and stuff. And the pigs sort of there's sort of free ranging in pretty big paddocks that he has fenced over there, and during the fall winter period they sort of feed themselves on the freaking nuts that fall from the trees, and he makes that Iberian ham, which is like air dried for years, and he's got like tens of hectares. The farm is really big, and he's talking about like he wants to do this kind of a project and that type of a project, but he's got like a shoelace funding. And I was thinking that it might be cool if we chipped in on his enterprise at some point and maybe help him either buy seedlings and trees to plant on the highest area of his property to get some water retention like as high as possible, or maybe like just sponsor him some seeds and shit, because he's got so much seed to sow, because it's I forget what it's called. It's like a hervesa or something. The farming is called. Basically, most of the landowners leave the land to itself, and they just visit it from the cities every now and then. But they're like
Okay.
old farms, and some of the neighbors around him have livestock, but he's the only one who's like trying to make a business out of it. But it looks pretty good. Like he's getting a lot of biomass in the soil, a lot of carbon in the soil that hasn't been, that cycle has been broken for tens of years already. So it's really degraded. The soil is like really rocky and and has like quite poor water retention, like altogether.
So did he start out with producing trees? I mean, it was
No, there's
probably left there from the person
yeah,
before,
yeah,
right?
yeah. They're old trees, but he's gonna plant more in between the old trees because they're too far apart, so there isn't enough shade. So during the hot months, everything bakes in the sun. So he plants new varieties that grow faster and create like a canopy quicker, because he needs to get a lot of shade fast. And he's also experimenting with different kinds of grasses that he grows there that are suitable really hot and almost like arid conditions.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah. It's called Grania Caimito, the farm. I'll
And
type it here.
you already placed a hog raising video in the chat the last week.
I did. I think I
Was
did. Yeah,
that it?
that's the. I think that's the same guy.
Okay.
Let me see if I got the.
I forget the key things that I learned out of that video.
I found the channel. I'm gonna
So
share
that's
it in the
another
chat.
Portugal and Spain
Yeah,
story. That's pretty interesting. Settlement. So I wonder if he kept his German residency.
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
because we need to move. I'm afraid the world governments are gonna like give us a way out just to trap us again.
Yeah. But it looks like it's gonna be really difficult to fly around starting next year.
Yeah.
If you haven't taken part in the human experiments, like the medical stuff.
And gotten on your knees to get identified
Yeah.
by it.
Yeah. I think we're gonna need to start working on that Hexagon Airways thing.
I've been seeing more and more stuff about pilot's license. One of the guys in Twitter Spaces' name is Pulsargeist, and he, among other things in his life, has been a fireman, and he got his license over a time period, but it only costs like $600. Right? Isn't that right? Facing reality? You're muted, by the way. So,
Yeah, correct.
he's
I don't know about the amount
Pulsargeist.
of money, but
Pulsargeist on Twitter. I can direct anyone if they contact me. And he's pretty popular in the Twitter Spaces. He's over in Florida, and his idea of Hexaco is that it's an island, and he would like to acquire a catamaran or something like that, just in case for the time to bug out if needed. And he would also like to be a part of the Hexaco airport. And I know that we have in this group, Rogue Herbalist is huge on wanting a Hexaco airport or airline. So Pulsargeist knows the way to go and get a license to start this stuff. So if anybody would like to connect, let me know.
Yeah, that's one thing.
We've got some smart fucking Hexicans.
yep.
Yeah, that's right, motherfuckers. Yeah, I heard this. One guy said that if he's gonna be loaded and bored, he's just gonna get a license for all kinds of stuff. So he's gonna get a
We
license
need
to
to.
fly anything and drive around in anything that you see.
We're the Hex MacGyvers, right?
Yeah,
You mentioned that last time.
But the first thing everybody needs to do is everybody needs to get forklift certified. That's like the number one thing.
And
gotta
listen
get
to podcasts.
Yeah.
Let's run a podcast of Richard at the same time people are operating a forklift, and then let's test them on the Richard stuff.
Yeah.
That's their test.
That's like 80 hours of forklifting while Richard is blasting on.
I'm still mad at
No
Pulsar guys.
toilet breaks.
We're supposed to do it together after Pulse Chain. We both should be getting our pilot license, but
forklift license.
whole thing got delayed, so he just started it, and I just can't find the time now to do those things as well.
Oh, there's the story. Okay. Separating the wheat from
Yeah.
the chaff, right?
Yeah, it's like, go for it, man. Yeah, yeah. I
So you're
couldn't
the
encourage
guy
him enough,
calling
so.
up there. Come on, man, come pick me up, man. What
Come
the fuck, man?
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Me and Paul's guys know each
Where's the
other
love?
before we knew of HEX, so we were already familiar with
Yeah.
each other. Yeah.
Sweet.
So what would be the coolest thing you would like to know how to operate? Like if you had to pick one.
Me, a chopper,
What,
hands down, chopper.
a chopper, yeah, that
Yep.
might be cool. What about like a? Well, I don't want to. You can come on my golden yacht
Yeah,
once I have my captain's papers.
nice.
That'd
Yeah,
be pretty cool as well.
What I want to do, and I don't need to wait for this, is to take one of those parachutes and the fans up in the air.
Yeah,
I wanna
paraglider.
Oh, one of those things, yeah.
Mhm.
But you could do a chopper as well, same way. If you have the light ones, the experimental, you can fly without any license, and it
Did
works
you say
like
experiment?
Experimental is the key word there, the operating word.
experimental class.
You don't
Yeah.
want to experiment when you're like
No,
even 200 meters
Yeah, but the
above
funny
the
thing
tree
is
line.
that how it originated with experimental, it's just because they needed something for regulation to be somewhat more free for new people to get into aviation.
No,
But
no, you don't need to do that.
yeah, but if you look at experimental planes now,
That's like,
they are
yeah,
extremely advanced. As soon
they
as you
are.
give people
Yeah,
the
yeah.
opportunity to actually do their own engineering,
Good
it's
point.
insane. If you want to see some
Yeah.
true aviation engineering, I could recommend a guy on YouTube, and his name is Mike Beatty.
Mike BT.
Yeah, PT, PET.
PT.
Yeah,
Okay.
and he's an engineer as well, and he creates his own planes, like from the ground up, builds his own planes with new engineering concepts that he came up from himself.
Are
It's
they the
insane.
ones with
Wow.
like these monsters for engines?
Yeah.
Where they
He,
take
he
off
built a
in
plane
like
that could
5
really,
meters.
yeah.
Are those the planes that you're talking about? Because I saw this one guy who
Yeah,
built
the red
these
one he
really
built from scratch up.
the red one.
Yeah,
Oh man. See, I think
now he's got scrappy.
YouTube has put us in the same box, and it's feeding us the same shit. We're getting the same videos from YouTube.
Yeah,
I'm getting the same. I'm getting the also the ether guy we spoke about the other day. That one came from my recommendations, and
you
so
mean the
some
big one with
other
the tattoos?
yeah
Yeah.
I saw his videos like 10 years ago or something, but
Yeah.
I was younger, and he at the time already he was so frustrated with the things that he knows
Yep.
that his frustration came off to me as an insecure younger guy. It came off to me like the dude's a dick, and I completely missed the message for freaking a decade.
Yeah.
I've
guy
been
was
beating
really
myself so much
Yeah.
over it now that I realized like there's a lot of thinking I could have been doing for the past 10 years if I just would have gotten past myself a bit and would have listened to what the guy had to say.
The magnetism expert.
The same dude, yeah.
His name's Ken Wheeler.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's a freaking that dude is a genius.
Yes. I've been following for over a decade. Yeah. But it's exactly
Decade.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's the same as like Richard Hart, like a lot of people that are really smart and brilliant and can be arrogant because of it. A lot of people miss the message because they only look at the picture and the character, but they're not.
And he's not arrogant. He's just so upset over
of
like
the
stupid
ignorance.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know. It's so
yeah,
funny. Uh,
yeah.
he's been.
But it's
He's
funny,
been.
like he uses same phrases. He talked about the importance of delaying gratification, just like maybe 1 or 2 weeks ago on one
Yeah.
of his videos.
Oh, we should clip that shit.
Yeah, I should. Yeah, I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I'll probably find it because I often rewatch his stuff because there's a lot of it I don't understand. In particular, because I have to go and double check the entire sort of glossary is something that's completely sort of for it doesn't come up in your day-to-day discussion. Hey, did you know about rarefaction and compression? Ah, fuck you, man.
Yeah.
Rarefaction. Oh, like what the fuck is he talking about? Or dielectrics. Like nobody talks about dielectrics. God
Yeah.
damn it. So there's a lot of like that stuff I still have to do. So it takes
I mean,
a long time.
90% of it goes over my head as well. I mean, uh,
Yeah.
it's
I
so
just
hard.
nod. I just nod like I understand.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Because I want to make an impression on the people around me who watch me,
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
listen to me watching that shit. And I'm like, oh yeah, of course
Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I feel you. Yeah. Sometimes I need to watch a video 10 times and still it just won't click for some reason.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
Yeah, but it's a good thing that he's made several videos on any of the subjects that he talks about, and often he comes back to them at some different angle.
He explains really well why light is not what we think it is. We think it's a
Yeah.
particle or a wave. He calls it all nonsense. There's no such thing. You should look it up.
Yeah.
The guy is really a genius.
Yeah, he is. Oh, by the way, over here, you cannot sell eggs. If you wanna sell them, they have to be unwashed.
What?
They
Yeah.
have to be non-prepared.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
you can't. Like, was it Torin or somebody who wrote something about unwashed eggs? And I was like, yeah, all of our eggs have to be unwashed because it creates some kind of a bacterial layer around it, which sort of adds to the shelf life of the egg. This is the only one where I'm visually present, almost weekly. I don't think I've missed many. I missed a few in the say the first 10 streams. I wasn't in all of them, but after that, I don't think I've missed many. I don't think you've missed any.
Crypto Truth, I don't remember if you have sent me a DM to get your address so that I could send you some cards. Just a friendly reminder.
Yeah, I believe Balsa guys wanted to do it at French Polynesia, wasn't it? He picked the perfect one.
That's where he wanted to go first. So he just wants to see the place. It's not necessarily that he wants Hexaco to be there.
True.
Yeah, and aren't the islands really small over there? Anyways,
I think so.
I would like to have an island big enough to drive a car in.
Yeah.
You
But
know,
wouldn't the Oceanside
I wouldn't.
land be a better choice?
Something where you can drive around in a golf cart is too small.
Yeah.
Unless it's built up like Las Vegas, just straight up.
Yeah.
I mean, at some point, we're going to have to make it built up somewhere.
That would be freaking awesome. Imagine like having just a an island of a city just sticking out of the sea somewhere.
Yeah,
Bloop.
I know.
Mexico with
About,
flashing lights and disco music when
yeah,
it's flying in.
about 2 years ago, me and Nathan looked into an atoll, and it's in the middle of the ocean. I'm not really sure where it was again, but it was 71 million, I believe. You had an atoll in the
Yeah.
middle of the ocean. It already had a landing strip on it, and it already had some structure. It was ideal for Hexaco, but yeah,
Mm. Yeah, you know
That's
that's how you know you're close to the peak of the next cycle when
yeah. When you're looking at
when
things
we're
like that,
streaming with Hex Tangent and we're shopping for airports.
yeah,
not
exactly.
even shopping for jets. We're looking at airports around bigger cities, like
Yeah,
the sort of the second tier cities around bigger cities. There's probably cheap airports over there we could buy.
yeah, sure. And it's gonna happen at some point.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of time.
I remember we were stream. I was watching him stream, and he was on like the Australian version of eBay,
Yeah,
shopping for. I think he was shopping for helicopters or something, jets.
yeah.
Like, yeah, I wouldn't want anything with a propeller. It would have to have jets on it, obviously.
I just want to land and a farm. That's all I need.
Yeah, I'm not like I don't care about that flying stuff. I just
Me
want enough. I want enough space around me so that legally from my backyard is where the safe shooting area begins, because like we have legal restrictions where you have to be within I think it's like 300 or 500 meters from other houses before you can like start shooting your guns. So I would
Okay.
have to have like maybe 5 kilometers circumference, like a big round area of land somewhere.
That is
So I could
big.
just blast off from my living room
Yeah.
window.
But holy moly, that is
so I watched
square miles. God, that's a lot.
I watched a
20.
YouTube video which was an interview with an American reporter or newscaster. I forgot who it was, but if I watched news all the time, I would know. He was interviewing the president of El Salvador. And the president of El Salvador was saying that he's going to do right by his people, and that he witnesses these other countries doing things that seem stupid and insane with their finances, and he doesn't know what their objective is, he says, but he doesn't want to do it that way, and instead he wants to be a part of having a stable currency, and so that's why they've adopted Bitcoin as a legal tender.
Yeah, that's why they have an
Really,
FTX account for the country.
so
1.2x long for the entire country. Let's go.
So what I really enjoyed from that was just that he was laying out this area, this void space, instead of getting himself assassinated, and just saying like, okay, these people are doing this stuff, and it's obviously idiocracy, and there's some reason that they're doing it, but oh, I don't know why.
Whatever.
That's
So
gonna
what?
be change.
So do y'all think that like these Central American, South American countries could just be economic hitman situation in the future?
I think they're gonna race to the money printers to buy more Bitcoin once it becomes cheap enough. because
And
that's
we
probably what El Salvador is trying to do, is trying to acquire more Bitcoin on the down low. But how much did they buy last time? Like $6 million worth or something. Like it doesn't.
$300 million worth, and that's it. You know,
Yeah,
yeah, nothing.
that's nothing in Bitcoin. But maybe the other central banks are gonna take heed and just start printing their money to buy digital assets. They could buy other stuff as well. But one thing that I do know is I'm sure the guy who is in charge of the artificial intelligence that BlackRock owns. I don't remember what the name of it was, but they use it like a trading bot. I'm sure that trading bot has already noticed that HEX doesn't react like everything else when it comes to the market. Just because of the mechanics that are built into staking, you're not gonna see this type of selling pressure that you're going to see on other assets that are traded in more of a sort of like a machine setting, where an R bot is trading against another R bot or something.
True. Do y'all have any ideas on spreading HEX to other people?
I was thinking that I wanna approach the guys who and let me know if you guys have seen this on YouTube, and you in the chat as well, or write it in the comments. Have you seen videos about making moonshine or making whiskey at home? Because I've seen a lot of those videos recently for some reason, and there are guys who, without like blinking an eye, they'll make a brandy or they'll make a whiskey and just set it aside for 5 years. Okay, we'll taste it in 5 years, and the audience is like, cool, let's see what happens. Like, and now they're like 2 years into their 5 years of waiting, and I was like, man, wouldn't it be cool if we sponsored, like this one guy Jesse who's in New Zealand, a bearded guy. He's got a handsome long beard. He could maybe do a barrel of like Mexican whiskey for us, and we could do like a 15-year. We could maybe do like several barrels and then do the final blend in 15 years. I do believe that's how they do it sometimes, or
Sounds
something like that, because he might just make a batch for himself at the same time, and I don't know, maybe we throw him like a t-shirt or something wrapped in an HSI or whatever, and
Could you
have fun,
imagine how
and
big that?
we would come out with a barrel of whiskey on top of this. So I only see like positive outcomes in the entire thing.
Could you imagine having, after 15 years?
See, Matt gets it. 5555 fin barrels.
Yeah,
Exactly,
and
man.
that's what it needs to do.
Imagine
And actually
you would
have
have your own.
that is the
You would
same
have
age.
your own whiskey. Like you could maybe do like a batch of, like maybe 15 gallons or 20 gallons or something, and age it in an oak barrel. That would be freaking awesome. We could start popping the cork in 13 years, because that we 12 years. We've got like 12 years to go in the oldest stakes. 12 years and some change. So that was
So
my idea, moonshiners. Or there's another guy. His channel is called Bearded and Bored. He is in Kentucky or something. He's an American guy, really funny sounding character. Him as well. He doesn't do the moonshine himself because the state where he lives is it's illegal. So he has this thing in his backyard called the liquor fairy, which hypothetically comes in and brews his alcohol on his behalf.
Nice.
Hypothetically, he's got his that's his T-shirt. He's a liquor fairy doing like one of these. Hypothetically,
So I see it as like that looks a lot like staking hex.
without the yield. You have all the waiting, but none of the yield.
But you do have the yield.
Well,
Because
you have the same whiskey. Like if you just made vodka, you would have it now, and you could just drink it now. You just have to wait 15 years to drink it, and it tastes a bit different. But there's not any more vodka or whiskey, you know. So it's a bit different. But yeah,
it's enhanced it.
but with the waiting, like 12 years is like an okay age for a whiskey. But it's not even 12 years is not even terribly old yet. But
I'm trying to critique this idea of like instead of being
don't critique me, man.
Instead of being parallel to Hex, then like what if we had something to where like it met us mid stride?
So are you worried? Are you worried that we're gonna get people from Hex into whiskey and they're just gonna start drinking and they forget?
I know that some Hexicans like to drink. I know that stuff can get out of hand.
Yeah, staking ladder whiskey.
Off a few
like
Hexicans
check it out. Matt is on fire there, man. Staking ladder whiskey. Delayed maturation. Oh man, that's so good. You could come up with so many. Yeah, you could come up with so many puns from all this. I can see Matt is like he's salivating in his mouth. I can feel it, Matt. You'd like some.
I think you might be onto something here.
Yeah, that would. I'm gonna have to send some emails and see what the fellas like. Maybe they could do something outside. Maybe they could do something outside of their own channel, or I don't know.
Yeah.
That sounds really fun. But what would they like? Would it be just your regular whiskey with your regular like recipe? Because I've seen the dudes make whiskey out of cornflakes and he made a brandy out of M&Ms. And do you think like maybe he could incorporate a little bit of Red Bull into the thing so that it would have just a slight hint of Red Bull in it when it goes into the barrel? Now, if you put in Red Bull into the and you distill it, nothing comes through. So that would make no sense.
Yeah.
I saw an interesting video yesterday where a guy put Red Bull on a windshield.
Take it from hate to tears.
And then poured salt all over it, and it popped.
Yeah. What popped?
Yeah, the windshield.
Oh, stupid! Yeah, I saw that.
He did it on purpose, but he was just like, "Look at this life hack." He poured Red Bull on a surface or on this windshield, and it slid down the windshield, and then he poured just salt on it. That was pretty crazy. Like, imagine we have
so the Red Bull cracked or the window cracked or what? What?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and a reaction happens that the whole window just popped. It was the
Weird.
back windshield. I mean, we have the capabilities of terrorism everywhere, and you interact with thousands and thousands of people on the road every day, but you're not afraid of them until the government tells you on a newscast to be afraid of them.
Yep.
It's just crazy how people work these days. I guess they always have worked that way.
Yeah.
Anyway, I didn't want to change it because I want to get down to expressing how I feel about the HSIs in the future, about like how we're walking up to something and then it's like, oop, a boost. And then we walk up to something and then boost. So like, can it meet us mid stride? Can we plan for the future? Like, I think the barreling idea is the same as HEX for the delayed
kinda.
maturation.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
imagine
really do
how,
like that.
how cool the barrel could be. Like you could burn the hex logo on the side of it, and
Yep.
you could have it like come out of a tap. Oh man, it would be so cool.
I mean, I truly like the idea, man. I really think you're onto something.
We just like to drink, guys. I think that's it.
I
That's
think
just
you're
the thing.
onto something.
It's just like to drink out of something that nobody else has. I just want an oak barrel to drink out of.
No, but it's so synonymous
Is that
with
too much to
what HEX is
ask?
for, delaying the gratification. It's the same in whiskey. The longer you get to age it, the richer the taste will be. So it's another form of delayed gratification. I think it's a perfect matchup.
Yeah.
So I was in the grocery store the other day and I forgot what items I was looking for, but I was thinking about HEX branding and how we could have like this separate high-end HEX, like the HEX group, the HEX guild has approved this thing, or they've brought this thing to market so you know it's good quality. Maybe I was thinking about like
kind of like that what's that one American company where they produce milk and dairies, all the dairy stuff. Oh man.
Well, that goes along with the idea that I placed in the chat where we could start identifying which hexagons are selling what and connect them with other hexagons who would want that sort of thing. Like we could start doing the advertising, say like Marcus over there that's doing beekeeping up in Wisconsin. We could start advertising, hey, we have a beekeeper, he can ship it around the world to people. Maybe it's not like just like the perfect price point because it needs to get into the mail and be shipped, but we could start connecting through commerce, connecting hexagons, and then we'll be set up a little bit further down the road to Hexaco.
That has been done for like 800 years in Europe. So that's like a good strategy to have.
But we're decentralized going to centralized.
Yeah, in a way, but that's sort of out of necessity. But say that German guy in Spain, he sells his air dried ham over the mail. You can just he has a web shop. You go to this website, you order the stuff, and the ham comes into your mailbox. Liquid split. So like you could have that guy like provide us with Iberian ham, and Marcus supply honey, and I don't know, Facing Reality would supply the mushrooms, or I don't know how it works. I didn't think of all the ins and outs, but I like the idea. Hey, man.
What's up, Siren? Let me just go through saying what's up, Crypto Heartbeat, welcome. Paul Sachs, welcome. Turin, Been there from the beginning. Crypto Truth. Diraj. HOA. Ooh, I didn't even see this guy.
Oh man,
Didn't even see this
had
person. Pop
had
in.
a good question and everything. Well, at the moment, nobody grows anything. Nobody grows nothing over here.
Red Squirrel. Let's see. Does anyone grow medicinal plants? That would be Rogue Herbalist. He's over in Utah, and he's like he's our herbalist genius. Knows all the relation to the plants and how people have used them over the centuries. If you pop into our chat, t.me/hex foodies, that's the Telegram chat. You can ask those specific questions. I'm sure a lot of us dibble dabble in herbs, but as far as like
What good
the
it does for you?
application, he would be the person.
Yeah. If there's more to it than just wanting to like the last Matrix movie, I can't help you, man.
Speaking of, have y'all seen the pods video? Incubation pods for humans.
Oh,
that looks
man,
a lot
that
like
didn't-
Matrix.
Yes, I've seen that one.
Didn't look disgusting at all. I can promise you guys, it would not look anything like that if a facility like that were ever to be
Ooh.
built.
Yeah, good point. It would be sludge all over the floor.
Why would it have lights on the ceiling? If
Why would it
all
look
the-
like a stadium?
Yeah,
Yeah.
if all the babies are in an incubation chamber, it's just gonna be like a black pipe full of babies. Like they don't need like stadium lights and laser shows. They're inside their mother's womb,
So
incubating in our 15-year-old Mexican whiskey. Oh man, this went horribly wrong.
So like in the video, they show the green goo going from one tube into the tube where you're incubated. Green goo goes in and then it filters back out. It's like,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
And this is the same time when newspapers are arguing whether it is ethical to eat human flesh or not. So you maybe want to keep a keep a really close check on the stuff that they're bringing in, because I'm not liking all the implications here.
Not at all.
Yeah, Crypto Heartbeat, where's our Texit right now? How far along are we with that?
Yeah. And will that mean that it's going to be easier for people outside of America to migrate to America? Because now it's pretty much impossible as a European to get to the United States.
Is it? You just go to Mexico and you walk over. I think they give you a ride once you get across the river.
Yeah.
They'll give you
Correction.
a lift.
Correction. You can't cross the river anymore at the populated area because the Texas Texas Guard has come there. So the state of Texas has now set up Humvees and 400 troops along there.
Seen that
Way to
now.
go, Texas.
Yeah, right.
It's about
Yeah.
time somebody takes control.
Right?
Like you guys are awfully concerned about the borders of Ukraine, considering you don't give a fuck about your own borders.
I think we have a huge brain fart with Cuba. Like all of our learned connection to Cuba, I think that's just absolute bullshit. I think that Cuba is like the best placed and best piece of property in the area. And I'm annoyed by the narrative that, oh, there's some family ruling over there and they treat it like communist. And the people are held back, and for some reason the United States can go and invade everybody else, but we can't invade this wonderfully placed island right south of us. It's so silly. I wish Americans would start paying attention to that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because you guys would live closer to the equator. Would you, Finbear, would you live closer to the equator?
No.
Like if I had the opportunity.
Yeah, would you live further south?
I wouldn't
Or you
mind
like
something like
tucking away?
because
the winter
something like
protects
maybe
people,
like
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
there's a certain element to living if falling asleep outside means that you'll be found 3 months later.
Yeah.
So you have to, like, there's a certain way that you have to sort of act. So it's like a good sieve for character. And
Yeah, I'm sad to say.
once things get really difficult and hard, and once the government cheese runs out of tap, people are gonna see where everybody else's loyalties lie, and it might be pretty interesting times for some of the more left-leaning folks. I would imagine.
That's pretty cool. I'm sad to say that my town, one of my clients, who I've actually known for my whole life because he was a customer of my grandparents' auto parts store here. So he's worked on cars, but he lost a son who got lost up in Montana, and he might have swerved off the road and wasn't able to take care of himself. He froze to death in his car.
Oh man, that sounds freaking horrible.
Yeah, I haven't heard any more details over it, but he just moved to Montana a year or two before, and that was his end, sadly. But yeah, I'm with you, man. Like
up in Lapland in particular, like you can drive on a road and you see like 12 kilometers or something like 8 miles straight ahead, and you know that there's like 150 kilometers or maybe like 110 miles of complete emptiness everywhere around you. So if your car breaks down, it's gonna be at least 3 hours before anybody comes to help you. Even if you call them and you get somebody to leave right now, it's gonna take them a couple of hours to get to you.
So every car should have those diesel heaters, especially if you're in
I
those.
think everybody should have their own chopper. I think that's what wasn't that what we were streaming about?
Yeah.
Choppers and freedom of
No,
personal movement.
Yeah, but these I got one recently for the terrace for the kids to have some warm place to be, and it's just
like a heater. I was like, you got a chopper for the kids. I'm like, dude, you're loaded.
Man.
Oh my god, that guy's a
But I mean,
super
if
shark.
you're living in those circumstances with the possibility of you being stranded, a regular car can run out of gasoline within 24 hours if you just keep it running 24/7 to keep the heat up. But that small diesel heater, it's about $150, and it can work for at least 4 or 5 days on just 5 liters of diesel.
very nice.
Yeah.
And it's a really good lifesaver in that case.
Finbear, what did people used to do throughout history up there? Like, would you just not dare trek so far?
What do you mean?
Like, tell us some stories about or some techniques that people would do whenever they travel. They just wouldn't
you
dare to travel so far?
You just get used to it. If it gets too cold, you have to build a fire to stay warm, or find a house where you can go inside and keep warm. Let me tell you a funny legal anecdote from Finland, just to get you guys into the sort of Finnish frame of mind. For we already went over 1 hour, so I think we're just about to
Close this out.
wrap up anyways. But there's this legal case from I believe late 80s, mid to late 80s from Lapland, where an alcoholic father was drinking with his two of his sons, and the father and the older son insulted the youngest of the brothers so deeply that he completely lost his temper. He got out, walked over 15 kilometers from his father's house into his own house, and then walked back with his shotgun and killed them both.
Ooh.
And so 15 kilometers, that's like 11 miles one way, 11 miles back. And the thing was that it was going to court as a manslaughter, because like one of the arguments is that it happens in a heat of passion type of a thing where there's no time to assess the situation. But the thing is, it was minus 30 degrees, so 30 degrees below zero, and the dude only had his coat on and some really bad shoes, but he didn't have a hat, he didn't have gloves or anything like that, and he was freezing cold, and he had to walk like so the defense was like, yeah, it's manslaughter, clean cut. But the DA is like, how can it be manslaughter when the dude's almost dying of hypothermia on the way to killing his like the rest of his family? He's had to have time to reconsider his actions when he was walking that 11 miles back to his dad's place. But yeah, that's like, that gives you like an inside window into the soulscape of the Finnish guy, like where you can get you can like completely lose control, and it stays lost for a while because of the long distances.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. We're done here. Be good to each other. So this Hex Guild group was originally set up like a year and a half ago or something, to plan for the future, to better Hexicans, because we're all about rejuvenation within the body, mind, and land, because we talk about permaculture often here. And thanks so much for being here and facing reality. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for coming on screen. Finn Bear, of course.
It's really cool to have like 3 of us here.
Indeed.
It's not too many. 3 is like a good amount.
And everybody's welcome to join. We do this weekly, now Wednesdays at noon Central Texas time. And the link will be in the chat. I'm using StreamYard. Anything else, guys?
No, steak fat and steak long, guys. See you next week.
I Bangga